If you have been using FieldCam for a while, you would have noticed that when it comes to job, there are various statuses. Like if you see on my screen, there is invoice, completed, scheduled, in progress, open, draft, etc. What does these jobs statuses even mean? So I made this quick diagram to walk you through it. So basically when a job is created, there is the draft status initially. If there has not been any time or date that has been assigned. So if I just do schedule later and keep it like that, then it's gonna be in the draft status, which means the dispatcher needs to assign a date, time and person to it. Once a date, time and person is assigned, it will go into the schedule stage. In the schedule stage, it will just stay there until the technicians change the visit statuses. But until then, what does the schedule stage do is it will just show on the calendar with the unique color that you've chosen on your account. But once the visit status is not the job statuses. So what I mean by that is technicians at their level can update the visit status. For example, if I go back to FieldCam and if I do this one, which is one of the jobs for the visits, I'm able to change the status for go to visit. Once I do that, the visit status will change into in transit, and there is another list of visit statuses which is separate from job status. But this visit status influences the job status. So if you go back now to the job, you will see the job status now it has turned into in progress because the visit status changed to like the technician is on their way to the job. Now until the technician completes the job by marking it complete, this job status will remain in progress. Now let's go back here. I've completed this work, and if you see, the job status has been completed. Now there are multiple visit statuses as well that influences the job status. So if you ask, like for example, that can you manually change these stages? No, because everything relies on the visit status. So for example, once a job is a draft which has not been scheduled yet, you create visit. When the technician starts or changes the visit status, it is in progress. Once the work is done, it's completed, and then another visit is scheduled, etc. So the job statuses are pretty easy to understand. It's just once the in progress status has been reached, unless you hold it or cancel the job, it will directly be completed as we just saw. And then once you say that, hey, I want to convert this job into an invoice and save it. Now if I go back to the jobs, then you will see that the job status automatically became invoiced. Now for some reason, let's say this job, I'll say close job ultimately, then you will see that the status has been closed because it's no one is gonna go for this particular job and we just cancelled it. So closed is just like cancel. Now if you open a particular job that has been scheduled, and if you open this visit, I can also do cancel visit. And if I do cancel the visit, basically I'll just cancel each of them ultimately, then the job status will be cancelled. So there is a difference between closed and cancelled. Closed is just something you want to manually override. Cancel is in case you cancel the visit. Now of course, as we just said, there are multiple visit statuses as well. So the default visit status is scheduled, then it comes in transit. So now the technicians are on their way to the job. They have reached the destination, so which means it's have arrived. Now the work is in progress. Now until they mark this off, the work will be in progress, and then ultimately it will be completed. In case you delete this visit, then it will be deleted. And if you can also mark this visit as confirmed, which will just confirm the status. And if you create an extra visit or you mark this visit as an extra visit, then over here you will just see that this visit was marked as extra visit, but the job status will just show completed because we completed the visit. Now I know this can be a bit overwhelming to understand, but the good news is we automatically maintain it. You don't need to manually change anything unless you add custom properties. But as always, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to us. Now, how do you use these job statuses? What we'll do is you can go to settings in the workflow templates, and we can use these job statuses to send notifications to the customer. For example, when a job is scheduled, 3 days before it is scheduled, like it is supposed to start, send this email reminder. 1 day before it, send this reminder, etc. And then once it is in progress, you can send this, like if the status is in transit, then send this text message to the customer. Once it has arrived, then send this text message, etc. So you are manually able to create this workflow. It will take only once. It's a big learning curve when you're creating it. But once you create it, then based on the job and visit status changes, you can trigger workflow notifications. And of course, we have a separate video on how you can set up these workflows. But if you need any help from us to set up the workflows, just reach out to us. Thank you.